It's time for 3A Super Sectional Basketball in Pontiac. Tonight, the Peoria High Lions look to clinch their ticket to state as they'll take on the Brother Rice Crusaders. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our broadcast alongside Michael Savoy. I'm Gavin Russell. Michael, you can already tell, probably just from the noise that you're hearing here in the gymnasium, it is going to be a loud game. It's going to be a lot of action, a lot of dynamic players. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, this is two great teams. Obviously, they're here for a reason. Super sectional basketball, one game away from state final berth. So two great teams, two very contrasting teams. One team likes to get up and down the court. You have a team that likes to, be patient on offense and play some really, just great defense. No doubt about that. Remind you, tonight's game is an audio-only broadcast due to NFHS rules and regulations. We are unable to provide a video broadcast. We apologize for any inconvenience. However, we will have all the action, all four quarters, and if there's more, we'll have that too. Live audio coverage here, radio-style call. Always like to have one of those once in a while, but we'll have lots of tidbits and stats to go along with it. I see Michael's ready to keep score over there, so we'll have all of it to break down as, again, two teams looking to clinch their ticket to the state Final Four. But let's get into it a little bit. Of course, many of our listeners tonight probably from the Peoria area, the greater Peoria area, following the Lions right now. Look at Brother Rice, and obviously they've been one of the best teams in the state in 3A all season long. Some notable wins for Brother Rice: Bolingbrook, Lane Tech, DePaul College Prep, just to name a few. Certainly, definitely been a rigorous schedule for the Crusaders. Their path to the Super Sectionals against Bremen, Brooks, Hillcrest, and Lamont. But Michael, who are we looking at when it comes to Brother Rice? Again, big season for him so far. Who do we need to keep an eye on? Well, they have a dynamic duo of Marcos Gonzalez and Jack Willigas. Gonzalez is averaging 18 points a game, and he's a Sun-Times first-team member, so that's the Chicago Sun-Times all-area team. Very good list, and obviously if you're on that list, you're going to be a great player, so he's a player to watch out for. And then Jack Wigas, he averages 14 a game. He's also a Hinsdale South transferring in from Hinsdale South High School. Very interesting story about that. And obviously you got some size there with Workman. You got Caden Workman staying at 6'5". He's a senior wearing number 21. There's our three starters for Brother Rice are to get the bulk of the action. No doubt. You got to have those guys that you can go to. Gonzalez, Wigas, and Workman, all seniors, so kind of do or die on their high school careers right now. Of course, you definitely want to lean on those guys, the most experienced of the bunch, but this is kind of a first for Brother Rice. They've actually never been to a state Final Four, believe it or not, Michael. This was their first year with a sectional title since 2005. So it's been a bit for the Crusaders. As for Peoria High, their first time in 12 years, they got out of a regional with a title, and their first time since their last state championship in 2012 that they've gotten this far as well. So two teams looking to punch their ticket. We'll talk a little more about Peoria High as we come up. National anthem in just a moment. Not many empty seats in the house. A couple of teams that had to come from a little over an hour away, but still traveled pretty well, all things considered. We've got the national anthem coming up and more basketball action here on ClutchSportsIL.com. Might have heard the Brother Rice student section singing along.
Goodness.
They were a couple of verses ahead, but nevertheless fired up. Just to paint the scene, there's probably 100-ish high school boys that are jumping around, all wearing Brother Rice orange.
Easily.
And they are fired up. We are right behind the Peoria High student section. We'll do our best to keep the clock cam on the bottom of your screen visible, but hard to do with a lot of heads in the way. We'll keep the clock, the numbers called out for you so you can follow along. But nevertheless, we've got starting lineups coming up. And one at a time is being introduced for either team. We'll get you the starting lineups. We'll start with Brother Rice. They'll start with number 1, KJ Morris. Number 2, Jack Wegas. Number 3, Marcos Gonzalez. Number 15, Max Justick. And number 21, Caden Workman. For the Peoria High Lions, it's a familiar 5. Number 21, LaShawn Stowers is out there with number 15, Phoenix Foy. Anthony Sturdivant wears number 4. Stephen Williams wears number 2, and Spencer Russell wears number 1. The uniforms for both teams, Brother Rice will be in their home white uniforms, Crusaders spelled across the chest in black and orange lettering, black and orange numbers. And I believe Peoria High will be in their traveling maroons tonight. Rather, they're traveling black uniforms.
It's really hard to see.
It is very hard to see. Our sight line is definitely quite a bit obstructed, but no fault of anybody. Students are standing up ready to have a good time in this ball game. We talked a little bit about Brother Rice. While we got a minute, give us a little rundown on Peoria High, what to expect.
Yeah, it's a very fast-paced team. Obviously, their kind of play style, they like to get up and down the court, use their defense, turning in the offense. They can run some set offenses, but they really want to get their points in the transition game off of steals, deflections. Look for LaShawn Stowers. He's had great games all season long. The Miami of Ohio commit, look for him to have a good game, but if they shut him down, obviously TJ Sturdivant can go off for them as well. He had 3 3-pointers in the second half against Metamora that put Peoria over the top to win that game, so look out for him too.
Lots to look out for. Thanks, Michael, for that. We're going to go no clock cam, too obstructed, so we'll do our best to keep you updated on the time of the ball game, but we're ready to go. 8 minutes on the clock, 4 quarters to go. A trip to Champaign-Urbana on the line. It'll be Phoenix Foy and KJ Morris to tip it off. The ball is up, and it is won by the Lions. Taken down by Anthony Sturdivant. Into the hands of LaShawn Stowers. He comes across the timeline. Over to Foy. Foy on the left wing. Gives it off to Stowers, but it's stolen away by KJ Morris. He's trapped along the sideline and gets it out. Here come the Crusaders. Up, a quick 2 is good by Jack Wegas.
Yeah, good job there by Jack Wegas. Good start to the game from Brother Rice. A turnover on one end and a score on the other.
As the Lions come up, Sturdivant dribbles around with it, takes it over to the near side, flings it over, 3-pointers, gives it up, gives it to Russell. Back to Williams. Williams throws it away, and it is taken back. It's going to be a foul on Brother Rice. It was thrown out of control by Spencer Russell. 2 players went to track it down, and the Lions drew a foul.
Yeah, not a great start if you're Peoria High, but still very early to go in this game. We're not even a minute into this ball game, but you already can see Peoria High, a little bit of jitters on the offensive end, and 2 nearly turnovers.
7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here comes Stephen Williams. Spencer Russell on the near side corner. Russell nowhere to go with it, still in the corner, gives it off to Foy. Foy drives inside, hook shot in the lane, no good. Rebounded and fouled on the play as it'll go to the Crusaders.
Well, at least Peoria High got a shot off there, but it still looks like they're just a little bit jitterish. You got to see a ball go through the basket.
Crusaders to inbound. They'll take it across the timeline. All the way once again is good by Wegas. Wegas has all 4 so far for the Crusaders.
Yeah, just once again, a dribble drive to his left. Nothing too fancy there, just getting to the basket and scoring an easy layup.
Here's Sturdivant, gives it off. Russell has it. He'll drive. He'll kick it back out. Russell still dribbles around with it. Tries to go down the lane. Ball knocked away. Back to the hands of Stephen Williams. Far side corner to LaShawn Stowers. He's guarded closely. Now handed by two Crusaders. Drives. Free throw line. Gives it back. Phoenix Foy goes in. Right hand. Air balls. Taken down by Wegas. He'll come up over the timeline. Makes a move. Going to go back to the left hand. Doesn't finish that time, but an offensive rebound. And a foul. A loose ball foul will go on the Lions. I believe that'll be Anthony Sturdivant.
Yeah, Peoria High just not a great start. Obviously, so early in this ball game, but you guys got to compose yourselves and not get ahead of yourselves. A lot of some sloppy basketball.
Workman has it, throws it far side to Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes down, kicks it over. Stops Morris in the lane. Back out to Gonzalez, works it around to Workman. Workman far side, drives down the lane. Back cut pass is good. KJ Morris on the back cut, 6-0 with 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sturdivant. Back over, gets near the timeline, has to give it up to Stephen Williams. Lions trying to run their action. Far side, LaShawn Stowers contested too, no good. Lions just no rhythm on offense, rebounded by Brother Rice. Morris has it in the far side corner, opposite of the benches, and a travel. He stepped before he dribbled and turned over back to Peoria High.
Well, that's a positive sign if you're the Lions forcing a Brother Rice turnover. Right now it just hasn't been really good offense from the Lions. It's really been a credit to Brother Rice's defense, really aggressive defense.
LaShawn Stowers walks slowly up. He is now crossing the timeline. Sturdivant has it on the Pontiac Indians logo. Gives it off to Foy, high post. Foy tries to drive, nowhere to go. Poked out by Workman. It'll stay with the Lions.
Brother Rice is all in your face. They're playing really aggressive man-to-man defense. They are forcing Peoria High to make tough decisions because they're upping your grill. They want to make you make those tough passes and risky passes, and it's really worked in their favor so far.
Spencer Russell at the top of the key. Gives it off to Stowers, near side wing. Tries to dribble. Brother Rice on a zone look, and the Lions just not able to crack the case just yet. Far side Stowers double team. Throws it. Hail Mary caught by Sturdivant on the other side of the court. Sturdivant back on the Indians logo. Now drives to his left. Into Foy in the lane. Kicks it out. Three-pointer. Spencer Russell. No good. Lions still held scoreless. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Now Brother Rice sets back up. Back to Morris. Near side corner. Down low in the post to Workman. Workman backs his way down. Back cut is up and in by Wegas. And a timeout by the Lions.
Boy, oh boy. Brother Rice has been running some great offense. They've been doing what Peoria should be doing with some of these back cuts to the basket. Brother Rice is playing great defense on the other end, really aggressive defense. Peoria High should be cutting to the basket and get some looks, but on Peoria High in the offensive end, it's just been tough sledding. Not a single great shot for the Lions. It's just been really tough for them to really get some good shots off.
Daniel Ruffin animated in the huddle, in a good way, of course.
And in a positive way, trying to wake up his guys to, play some basketball. This is a game away from the state title. Why not let it all go out? Because your team has not been here in this situation since 2012. So it's been a long time coming for this Peoria High team. Just let it all out. Let's play some basketball.
They've played among the state's best, won the State Farm Holiday Classic. They've had great wins all season long. They've had a tough path to get here, beat Metamora in the last game, so they're no stranger to hostile environments. It's Nigel Moore into the game, the freshman, sensational freshman class for Peoria High. He pulls up for two, long on the shot. He'll hear about it from the Brother Rice students. Gonzalez going the other way, into the corner. Three-pointer, Wegas. No good. Tipped back up nearly in. Lions have 5-on-3. Stowers gives it up. Nowhere to go, and Brother Rice gets back. They gave it over to Orlando Edwards, but he had nowhere to go with it. Orlando Edwards dribbles around and stolen away. Gonzalez comes the other way, misses the layup. Rebounded by Stowers. Nearly a steal and a score. Fast-paced action. Stowers, another two. Fall away shot, no good. 2:45 to go in the first. Lions, no offense so far. Wegas is stripped away by Phoenix Foy. Here comes Stowers again. He'll go all the way. Steps through. Off the back iron and out. Rebounded by Phoenix Foy. And it's going back to the Crusaders. He threw it out of bounds.
There were some good opportunities there for the Lions. You had mentioned a 5-on-3 at one point. You would think Peoria High would get on the scoreboard with the advantage, but once again, Brother Rice's defense has been outstanding so far. It's been the reason why the score is what it is.
Lions just haven't cracked the case on the zone look yet. 2:24 to go in the first quarter. Gonzalez dribbles across the timeline, gives it off to Workman. Workman backs his way down, back cut, Morris off the iron, no good. Lions starting to tighten up the defense a little bit, but still haven't found the back of the net. Stowers throws it, corner, opposite way, driving, back down to Foy. Stowers under the hoop, throws it up and he's fouled. Good chance here for the Lions to try and get something to go down.
Yeah, that was by far the best look of the game so far for Peoria High. LaShawn Stowers is right underneath the basket. If he was not making the shot, he was going to get fouled, and he does get the ladder, so he will shoot too.
Stowers makes the first one, and Peoria High's on the board with 1:53 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, for the Lions, this is big. See the ball go through the basket. Maybe that ignites them a little bit, thinking, hey, like, we can finally make a shot and we can get some offense going as LaShawn Stowers goes 2 for 2.
2 for 2 for LaShawn Stowers. Full court pressure from the Lions. They get it up to Workman. Workman, and then they'll hand it off to Gonzalez. Full court pressure, backs off. Jacob Duffin into the game now for the Lions. Again, a lot of young players on Peoria High. Gonzalez comes up, blocked by Duffin. Back to the hands of Gonzalez, throws up an air ball, and it's going to be a jump ball as Jacob Duffin got his hands on it 2 times. Clean block all the way, and it'll stay with the Crusaders.
And that means a lot for Coach Ruffin to see his freshman Duffin block the shot. It means a lot to see his freshmen step up in the big moments because remember, like I said, he's just a freshman. Peoria High has a lot of these freshmen that are really good, so it means a lot for Coach Ruffin to see this production.
Cameron Gunn checks in for the Lions. 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Morris drives for the Crusaders and another travel. Second turnover of the game. A lot of physicality. Maybe a few hand checks here and there, but overall it's getting called both ways. 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, these are great officials. You don't get in these games without being great at your job, so these officials are really good, and we expect them to see a lot of physicality. They should let the players play unless something was so egregious that it had to be called, but so far a great officiated game.
LaShawn Stowers on the Pontiac Holiday Tournament logo here on the court. Drives in with his left hand, nowhere to go with it, kicks it out, gets it back to Sturdivant. Sturdivant now to the near side. Surveying is Nigel Moore. Minute to go here in the first quarter. 1 minute remaining. Nigel Moore is going to hold it. Lions have not scored a field goal. Nigel Moore throws up a 3, no good. He's rattled a little bit. Stolen away nearly by Nigel Moore. Gonzalez got it back. Gonzalez, 42 seconds now. Near side, down in the post to Workman. Workman drives with his right, goes up to his left and scores 2.
That was a pretty shot right there from Workman. He has spun to his left side and got an easy look at the basket. It's a pretty nice shot.
23-second, no field goals for Peoria High, just 2 free throws courtesy of LaShawn Stowers. He'll dribble around with it near the timeline. 15, now 14 on the clock. Into the hands of Sturdivant. Sturdivant with 10, now 9. Dribbles out, Sturdivant to Stowers with 5. Now 4, now 3. He steps into a three-pointer. No good. Tipped around, and that's the end of the first quarter. Brother Rice 10 and Peoria High 2. Lions without a field goal in the first quarter.
Yeah, not ideal if you're Peoria High. Obviously, you'd like to at least get some field goals down, but you got to give big credit to Brother Rice's defense. It's really a mix of a man and a zone. They play a zone for a second, and then they pick up on the pretty much on the three-point line man-to-man, so they make it tough for Peoria High. I'm not sure if Peoria High has seen a defense that like Brother Rice is playing on them, but give credit to the Crusaders on the defensive end and the offensive end. They're converting their shots in the offensive end, too.
They've gotten a lot courtesy of Jack Wegas. He's been their leading scorer thus far. I believe he has 6, Michael?
Yes, he has 6. Caden Workman, the 6'5" big man, has 2, and so does KJ Morris. He also has 2, and that's all of Brother Rice's production. Like we said, Gavin, no field goals so far for the Lions, just 2 LaShawn Stowers free throws with just under 2 minutes to go in the first. So they didn't get scoring immediately for Peoria High, but to see those 2 free throws go down, you'd like to think, if you're Coach Ruffin and if you're a Peoria High fan, that's something that can lead to more.
Lions just haven't had many open shots. We'll see if that changes. Reminder, tonight's game is brought to you by Jody Brown, State Farm Agency in Peoria, Illinois. Give a call at the number on your screen or go to jodybrownagency.com. Jody's best in the business with State Farm. It'll be Orlando Edwards to start the second quarter for the Lions, as they'll have the ball just across the timeline. They're looking for Stowers, constantly hounded by a Brother Rice player.
Yeah, that's John Mickra just playing really good defense on him. Speaking of which, he almost gets a turnover, poked away and went out of bounds, and possession will stay with the Lions.
Stowers thought he got fouled, thought he got hit on the arm. Maybe some of it has to do with being right next to the Brother Rice student section, who is loud.
Yeah, they're loud. They're always going to be on their feet. Same with Peoria High right in front of us. But this Brother Rice student section, we saw in the national anthem, they're jumping around, pushing each other. This looks really rowdy.
Sturtevant has it now, just into the second quarter. Kicks it off. Here's Orlando Edwards for 3. No good. Rebounded Duffin. He's blocked, but they're going to call a foul. Looked like a lot of ball. Brother Rice fans don't like it. Might have caught the body on the way up, but how about Jacob Duffin? He has had some of those extra effort plays, and now he'll shoot 2 shots to the line.
It's not something you see out of really any player in today's brand of basketball, let alone a freshman, and he's been playing very well as a freshman. He hasn't been in the program for a year, and he's playing this well.
Missed his first free throw.
Semi-jinx, I think I said playing well, and he missed his first free throw. Semi-jinx, not a total jinx.
He'll shoot a second one. Takes a couple of dribbles, sets up, fires, and it's good. All the Lions points coming from the charity stripe, 10-3. Less than a minute in. Brother Rice having trouble getting the ball in, finally gets it into Workman. Workman has to come across the timeline himself, guarded by Stowers, nearly stripped away, dives on the floor, stays with Brother Rice. Wegas gets it back. They dribble around. Wegas now on the far side. Gives it back to Workman, top of the key. Workman back to Wegas. They play pitch and catch. Wegas wants to go with the left hand. Loses it. Mickra off to Workman. Workman picks up his own dribble. Gonzalez, and it's tipped out of bounds by Duffin. But Duffin has really been kind of the catalyst defensively coming off the bench tonight for Peoria High.
Well, he's really the one bringing the extra effort both on the defensive end and the offensive end, getting offensive rebounds and getting defensive stops.
Inbounded, Wegas goes up all the way and he's fouled. Jack Wegas collected the harm. Let's see who they're going to call it on from Spencer Russell. 1 foul apiece in the quarter. 6:47 to go in period number 2. Jack Wegas at the line to shoot 2.
Wegas looks like he's more of a left-handed player. He drives a lot with his left hand, but is a very solid player. Like we said in the open, averages 18 a game, and he makes his first free throw. Also a sometimes all-area first-team member in the Chicagoland area.
He made the first one, lines up to shoot number 2. Easy looking stroke there from Jack Wegas, 12-3. Lions still looking for their first field goal in the ball game. Stowers tries to make a move. Shoots a 3-pointer. It's good! Sidestep for LaShawn Stowers, and the first field goal of the game comes from the big man.
Man, that was such a difficult shot. He made a couple crossovers between the legs and got some separation off of his sidestep and drains a big 3-pointer for the Lions team.
Gonzalez drives in low post. Caught Duffin in the air. Gonzalez off the glass for 2.
Man, that was pretty. The nice pump fake there from Gonzalez, and he's able to spin around to the baseline side and able to make a really nice two-pointer a couple of feet from the basket.
6 minutes to go. Cross-court pass taken in by Edwards. Now to Stowers, top of the free throw line. Thought about pulling up, pump fakes, goes in all the way. It's good. LaShawn Stowers heating up. He's got Peoria right back in it.
Yeah, he's doing all the work himself. Other than that Jacob Duffin free throw, he's got the first 2 field goals of the ball game for the Lions.
And a stoppage to tie the shoe. Brother Rice fans boo, even though there was nothing significant whatsoever going on with the play. It's simply an inbounds pass. It'll be Max Justick to inbound to Gonzalez. But it's really been Jack Wegas so far has been the man for Brother Rice.
Yeah, he's done a lot of his work around the basket.
Morris down to Gonzalez. He's guarded by Duffin in the low post. Now he backs down, goes up, under. Difficult shot for Gonzalez.
Man, Gonzalez also, he's averaging 14 points a game, and you can easily see why. Not a lot of people can average that point total, but you got to be a good offensive player.
Orlando Edwards went in by himself and got 2. Peoria High is finding some gaps in that defense now. They got a ball game. Down the lane and a foul. Stowers didn't like it. Might have caught just a piece of the arm.
Yeah, that'll be on Stowers.
That's probably the one thing that cannot happen tonight for Peoria High, is LaShawn Stowers simply just can't exit this ball game.
And that's something that we had touched on in the beginning. Peoria High, if you can stop LaShawn Stowers, it's all about who can contribute with the other players. Contrasting to Brother Rice, that doesn't have that one significant star player. They have about a big 3 or a big 2 of players that can really score.
It was a foul on the floor, not on the shot. 2 fouls on Peoria High in the quarter, 1 on Brother Rice. Down low to Gonzalez. He turns around. He's fouled on the floor. They better hope it's not on LaShawn Stowers.
I believe it's on Duffin. Excuse me, it's on Spencer Russell.
Didn't realize Spencer Russell was in much on that play. Kind of came from behind. That's his second personal foul. So it'll be 2 shots to the line for Marcos Gonzalez. And he makes the first one.
Both teams have not missed a field goal so far here in the second quarter, so that's something positive to see if you're both the Lions and the Crusaders. Something actually more positive to see if you're the Lions, given that you didn't make a single one in the first quarter.
Gonzalez goes 2 for 2 from the line. 4:51 to go in the second quarter. Lions come up. Again, a zone look for Brother Rice. Edwards surveys.
This is a true 2-3 zone they're playing.
Going to take a lot of energy out of Brother Rice.
Extended look, too.
And nearly a steal. They call a late backcourt violation. I'm not so sure about that one, Michael. I thought he saved it before it went over and back, but it was kind of that point of the court where there's not a solid line. It was on the main part of the logo.
Right.
A tough call for the official.
And for us, it's kind of hard to see because we're tucked into a corner of the gym in this really big gym. Really nice gym out of that, but yeah, it's kind of a tough call for us to make, and I'm sure it was for the official.
Brother Rice gets it back. Morris, back cut to Wegas, and it's out of bounds. So a missed opportunity for the Crusaders. 4:21 to go in the second.
Well, good job by Peoria High turning the ball over on their side on the lane or backcourt violation, and then getting that turnover right back to Brother Rice, from Brother Rice.
Sturdivant dribbles near the timeline, gives it off to Nigel Moore. True 2-3 zone. Brother Rice is very long, very tall. Stowers has it, gives it over. Moore thought about it, drives in, lost it. Got by Sturdivant, shoots a three, it's good! Anthony Sturdivant picks up the loose ball and nails a triple.
And he has some words to say to the Brother Rice student section. He's a very animated guy. I had interviewed him for a story, and he's all about it.
And a foul on the floor. No foul play. Foul's going to be on Anthony Sturdivant. He got caught up with Max Justick, and I think they just tied up arms a little bit, helped him up from the floor. And it's a foul on the floor. Next one is a bonus. 4 on Peoria High in the quarter, 1 on Brother Rice. 3:40 to go in the second. Weegas for 3, it's good! Answers a big three-pointer, Jack Weegas. Scoring starting to fire up. Lions are figuring it out, but Brother Rice staying in front. Tough shot from Nigel Moore. The freshman on the big stage gets 2 more on a mid-range jumper.
Both teams have not missed a shot yet, other than a Peoria High free throw in the second quarter. It's really nice for Peoria High to get some balls in the basket on the offensive end, but they got to get some stops.
Morris goes low post, tries to kick it out and turns the ball over. Brother Rice has turned the ball over several times. Here comes Stowers. Wants to take it himself. Free throw line. Has to give it up back to Sturdivant. Sturdivant gets a call from Daniel Ruffin on the bench. 2:42 to go in the second. Orlando Edwards dribbles around, near wing, on the three-point line. He'll step back for 3, in and out. Had everything but the bottom of the net. Rebound by Peoria High, no good on a second chance by Sturdivant. Gonzalez goes all the way and off on Peoria High. Again, 50% of the crowd's gonna love it, 50% of the crowd's gonna hate those really close calls.
Yeah, there's not the greatest position to be in if you're a high school referee in those situations where these foul counts really do matter.
And a foul on the floor, away from the ball foul on the inbounds.
I think it's Stephen Williams. Or excuse me, Nigel Moore.
Nigel Moore's first, and it sends Jack Weegas to the line with 2:17 to go in the first half. Weegas shoots again from the charity stripe. Don't think he's even hit the rim yet, Michael.
Yeah, and that's not in a bad way. That's in a good way. He's shot the lights out of the ball.
Officials talk to Stowers and Workman, making sure they don't cross the lane too early. Weegas, and it just goes in. That one hit the rim, but it went down for Jack Weegas. 23-15, 2 minutes to go in the second. Orlando Edwards dribbles around at the high post. Now gets rid of it back to Sturdivant. Stowers is looking for a foul away from the ball. Doesn't get it.
You got to get some ball movement. You can't just keep dribbling around like Sturdivant has.
KJ Morris is draped all over LaShawn Stowers. And finally a foul call.
The Lions have there's not really a lot of off-ball movement on their side of the court. They got to fix that. You know, a lot of the dribbling is going on. It's only just helping Brother Rice.
Again, I think the Lions just having difficulty with that zone look. Here's Sturdivant. Nearly traveled. Nigel Moore has it on the far wing. Drives down. Free throw line, Jay. In and out, no good. Close shot there as Gonzalez takes it. He's got it all the way. He falls away. Tough two-pointer. Marcos Gonzalez gives them a 10-point lead again. 1:18 to go. Nigel Moore has it, makes a move. It's poked away from the freshman. Here's Morris. He is fouled and nearly an and one. Moore turned it over and a fast break for KJ Morris.
Well, that's another example of a lot of dribbling going on the Peoria High side of the court on their offensive end, and it's like I said, it's only helping Brother Rice. They're only helping them because they're getting Brother Rice opportunities to get their hands in the cookie jar and getting turnovers, and it leads to these kind of situations where LaShawn Stowers has to commit a foul. You're putting your star player in a worse position. You're also giving Brother Rice shots at the line.
If I was Stowers, I might have just let that one go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position for him to be in because you're down by a little bit now. With down by 10, it could be 11 on this free throw. It is. So KJ Morris hits his first. You also kind of want to send a message also saying that, hey, like, you get the steal, but hey, like, I'm right here. We're not done playing. Could be that kind of factor too.
KJ Morris is just completely face guarding LaShawn Stowers. I mean, he is up in his grill as far as he possibly could be. Stowers undoubtedly frustrated. Second free throw is good. Crusaders have been perfect at the line.
They've been perfect from the field in the second quarter. So a really hot shooting team are the Crusaders.
A few turnovers, but other than that, Brother Rice has been on a heater, but Lions have scored 13 in the quarter. It was a slow start. Took them over a quarter to make their first field goal. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. Sturdivant dribbles around with it. Loses the handle. Back into the hands of Brother Rice. Spin move, no good. And a foul the other direction on Workman. He pushed off trying to get the rebound. Lions catch a break. Max Justick just couldn't finish.
Yeah, that's another example of Peoria High not moving the ball on the offensive end. There's a lot of dribbling going on. It's the second straight time on their offensive end they turn the ball over and it leads to a foul, but thankfully this foul was not on them, it was on Brother Rice.
38 seconds to go on the clock. Orlando Edwards has it, dribbles around, gives it off. Three-pointer, Sturdivant. Hits the back iron, no good, rebounded by KJ Morris. Lions have gone cold from the field as looks like Brother Rice will hold for the last shot. 20 seconds to go in this first half.
Yeah, they'll be content with 15 to go to get that last shot and maybe even double up Peoria High's score.
Gonzalez makes a move. Two-pointer, long one is good! Marcos Gonzalez can't be stopped. At the horn, a long three is no good as Brother Rice, I believe that was a two-pointer, Michael. There is no way that was a three. It's firmly inside the two.
I was even looking, and I put down a 2 on my scorebook, and I look at the scoreboard as you say that, and they give him 3. So
I'm just not so sure about that one. Looks like it will be 3 points.
Yeah, I don't think the officials are even talking about it, so they're sure it's a 3, so we'll give him a 3. Pretty move, though, from Gonzalez. Shifting, a little bit shifty, couple between the legs, crossovers, and able to get some separation and hit a shot. That was pretty.
As both teams head to their respective locker rooms. 30-15 at the end of one half. And Michael, it was just a slow start for Peoria High. They were down 10-0 at one point. As then LaShawn Stowers broke the scoring with a couple of free throws. Lions finally found a little stretch of good offense, but other than that, just been all Brother Rice. They've just been too much.
I don't have the exact percentage, but if I had to, guess on the percentage of good looks that Peoria High has gotten throughout the whole game, probably 5%. Honestly, probably 2 good looks the whole game, and 2 of them have resulted in some points for Peoria High. I believe one of them was LaShawn Stowers underneath the basket. I can't remember what the other 2 are or the 3 are, but it just has been really tough for Peoria High to get anything going on the offensive end. And credit to Brother Rice's defense. They sometimes play man-to-man. They sometimes play a 2-3 zone. Both are very aggressive. The 2-3 zone is very extended, so they're forcing Peoria High to get, if they're going to shoot a three-point ball, tough looks. Obviously, the zone is meant to keep the ball on the outside, so that's tough for Peoria High. And also that man-to-man defense, especially if they're playing on LaShawn Stowers. He's up on his grill, and they're up on his grill, and it's just been tough.
It's been tough sledding for the Lions, but And they do as we speak. They do change it to a two-pointer. So, in fact, it is 29 to 15.
While you're just spinning.
Not
a button push that
not
wasn't meant
too
to be
much of a
pushed.
difference there, Michael.
Yeah, not going to, be a world-beating change, but
It's a 14-point lead at the half. Michael, I don't know if you saw that final score from Manual and Williamsville.
I was watching throughout. We were both watching throughout the game, and we had seen a Manual team that was well in hand of earning their trip to state just throughout, and I did not see it.
We'll try to effort that final score.
Halftime at the Peoria Christian game, that game is very close. I just got the notification but lost it. Oh, here we go. 30-28 Greenfield over Peoria Christian. So that's a very close game.
Very, very tight indeed. As I'll work on getting this Manual scored. Manual was looking like they almost were going to go to state.
Yeah, they were well in hand. We had seen the score. It was 17-0 at one point. Manual was in front, and it was really smooth for them.
And a final score from Manual. Might have already seen it, but if you didn't, it's 52-29 as the Rams handedly win their super sectional down in Springfield. They came down and won big over the Williamsville Bullets, and they will go back to the state Final Four, something they've been shooting for all year long. Really haven't had any close games in the playoffs. Most of them have been pretty big wins. They essentially now have played kind of on a away court, if you will, twice, playing at host Sherrard for a sectional championship, and then down in Springfield today, Williamsville not too far away, so beating the odds a little bit for Marvin Jordan's group. Dietrich Richardson and company are headed to Champaign, so one Peoria area representative is in, as the Lions will look to join them, and the Peoria Christian Chargers will look to join them as well from the 309. Michael, I know you're working hard over there to tally some stats. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. We'd love to get some stats from the first half.
Yeah, it's really just a big three. I mean, Jack Wegas has been the guy for Brother Rice. He has 13 points, and he was perfect from the field in the second quarter. Almost everyone was perfect from the field in the second quarter. Just one missed shot from Brother Rice. That was a Marcos Gonzalez two-pointer that was off. Really hot shooting team is Brother Rice. Jack Wegas leads the way with them with 13. Other scores for Brother Rice. Marcos Gonzalez had done all of his scoring in the second quarter. He has 6. KJ Morris has 3, and then Caden Workman, the 6'5 senior big man, has 2. I have not yet tallied Peoria High, but it shouldn't be too difficult given that they've only scored 15. LaShawn Stowers has 7 for the Lions. His 2 free throws in the first quarter were the first points of the ball game for Peoria High. That happened just under 2 minutes into the game. And there just hasn't been a lot of, I keep track of field goal percentage too, not that I tally out the field goal percentage, it's just, the numbers and then the cross. There's a lot of numbers that are crossed out for Peoria High. What that means is that they've had tough time shooting, so just hasn't been great on the offensive end for the Lions.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of open looks, as you mentioned, and a lot of it's just credit to Brother Rice's defense has just been suffocating. But maybe Daniel Ruffin has something in his bag of tricks, and, long lineage for the Lions. This has really become just something, a legacy, and I know Peoria Manual, for a very good reason, gets lots of attention for their historic run in the 90s, how good of a program that they've been. But I think through and through, from the beginning on, Peoria High has actually been one of the state's better programs, maybe a little overlooked in the recent years as they haven't been quite as good until the last couple. But you look at Peoria High, 5 state championships, starting way back in 1907. They got one in the late 70s. Of course, the back-to-back titles in 03 and 04. Last title in 2012. But those 03 and 04 teams were highlighted by Daniel Ruffin, who's the now coach. He was playing for Chuck Bisher, a Greater Peoria Area Sports Hall of Famer, former Bradley Brave. He's made his way around many Central Illinois schools. An assistant coach for Chuck Bisher for some time was Daniel Ruffin's father, Dan Ruffin. Dan Ruffin Sr., who then eventually became the head coach of the program. Daniel would play in the Sweet 16 in his time at Bradley in 2006, and then would coach with his father, Dan Sr., for a few years, and then is now taken over as the head coach. But you just look at the mentors that Daniel Ruffin has had. Of course, his father, Chuck Bisher, legendary coach, as well as Jim Less, and he keeps up with all three of those guys very closely to this day. Jim Less still a coach at UC Davis, former coach of Bradley men's basketball. So I think if there's really any coach, maybe a few we could think of, but really if there's any coach that could do it on this stage to get his troops rallied up, whether or not you want to say they're the best team, the most talented, Daniel Ruffin believes, hey, we can get it. We just got to work hard for it. We got to believe in ourselves. Just got to draw something up and go out there and do it for a couple more quarters.
Every team is here for a reason. You're not in the super sectionals if you don't play your best basketball. It doesn't have to be the most talented team. It has to be the team playing their best basketball at the right time. You obviously are on a winning streak if you're in the super sectionals. You have to have won at least regional quarterfinals, regional championship, sectional semis, sectional championship. At least got to be on a 4-game winning streak or a 5-game winning streak to even reach this point. So obviously they're playing their best basketball at the right time, but they're also playing a team in Chicago Brother Rice that they have not seen all year. Obviously you got to prepare for these teams. They have film on Brother Rice, but it's different watching film and different playing them in person. They obviously have seen Brother Rice's defense, but just playing in person is so much different. But they had one half of basketball down seeing that defense, and you got to think, like you said, Gavin, that Coach Ruffin can, for all these troops in the halftime locker room say, hey, like, we need to do this and that, and they should be coming out guns, and we'll see what happens. There's still a lot of ball game left.
Certainly is. Just under a minute before halftime ends. I'd like to remind you, tonight's ball game is brought to you by Jody Brown State Farm Agency in Peoria. For all your insurance needs, call your good neighbor, Jody Brown, at 309-693-1103, or visit our website at jodybrown.agency.com. Jody's familiar with lots of good basketball, so if you're a basketball fan, you can go chop it up with her. Get yourself covered. She's the late wife of Kevin Brown, of course, another legendary coach. We talk about Chuck Bisher, Dan Ruffin Sr., many coaches that have come before Daniel Ruffin, who is currently drawing up a play for his Lions. Another former Peoria High coach way back in the day was Dottie Hawkins. Might be a familiar name. So they've had their fair share of legendary teams, legendary coaches. Can they make something special happen tonight? Down 14. Had it as close as 6 back in the second quarter before Brother Rice hit a bit of a run. And now we've got 16 more minutes of basketball to see who punches their ticket to Champaign. It'll be the Crusaders starting with the basketball, and it'll be Max Justick to inbound the ball to Marcos Gonzalez. Gonzalez dribbles around, goes to the far side, drives down the lane, stops, kicks it over to the corner, back to Morris. Morris and a charge! Spencer Russell had his hand straight up in the air and drew an elbow from KJ Morris.
Great start for your Peoria High. That's a great, every coach has to love that kind of play style where you have a player that's willing to put his body on the line to draw a charge. You got to love that for Coach Ruffin, just any coach. It's a great start for the half for Peoria High.
Going back to our Tournament of Champion days, a Jody Brown State Farm charge.
There you go, it was perfect.
Spencer Russell has it, down low post to Phoenix Foy. Foy was quiet in the first half, he turned it over. Right into the hands of Max Justick. Justick kicks it up, nearly turned over by him. Into the hands of Workman. Workman drives down the lane, throws it over. Corner, three-pointer, Justick fouled, and nearly an and one. Max Justick kind of being a little pesky for the Lions, and he'll now shoot, I believe, 3 free throws. Yes, it is.
Yep. Official putting up the 3. We're not really too sure about the closeout. I'm assuming it was not a great closeout. You just can't foul a three-point shooter. It's kind of in our line of sight with the Peoria High student section. But we're just going to assume because the foul was called, it wasn't a great closeout. You just cannot foul a three-point shooter.
2 for 2 from the line.
Especially if you're fouling, obviously a three-point shooter is going to shoot a 3 because he's a good shooter, let alone a free throw shooter. So He's gonna go 3 for 3 like he just did.
Didn't miss one from the line. Brother Rice has been borderline perfect from everywhere tonight. Haven't missed many shots, just turned the ball over a few too many times.
Yeah, if they can limit their turnovers, they're nearly a perfect team.
Stowers has it, top of the key, and stolen away. Over to Gonzalez, and he lays it up and in. A fast break and a timeout from Daniel Ruffin. Not the way he wanted to start the second half.
You thought that maybe that Peoria Force charge in the beginning of the whole half could set a tone for Peoria High, but really it's just been what we've seen in the first half with turnovers from the Lions, and really just hasn't been much different.
6:57 to go in the third. Lions got to turn the tide sometime soon. Again, far cry from just the 2 points they had in the first quarter. It was a really, really slow start. But they've gotten back significantly since then. Just Brother Rice too active, too much.
Yeah, it just hasn't really been much different. Brother Rice, they don't have to make adjustments. Obviously, they're up by so much. Why change anything? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're playing the same exact defense that they've been playing in the first half, and Peoria High just hasn't been able to solve it still.
And a spectacle here at the timeout. A Peoria High cheerleader just united both sides of this crowd. Handstand walked both ends of the floor, all the distance of the court. What an impressive feat.
I believe she did that at Washington on Friday, so you got to have some type of great athleticism to even do that and get hand-eye coordination as well. That's really difficult. I can't do that.
Even had the Brother Rice crowd into that one. Lions out of the timeout. They'd like to get into some scoring. Sturdivant looking for Stowers, gives it off to Spencer Russell. Russell gets a screen over to the top of the key. He dribbles back out with it. Tries to drive down the lane. Euro step, three-pointer from Williams is good! Stephen Williams finds the bottom of the net.
That was a great look for Stephen Williams. Great job penetrating and kicking out Spencer Russell, driving in, collapsing the defense, and getting an open three.
Into the low post, Workman. Workman backs down Foy. Hook shot, no good off the back iron. Ripped away there by Phoenix Foy. He's a glue guy, he'll get those rebounds. Williams looking to find another gear for the Lions. He gives it off to Russell. Here's Williams again, thought about a three, pulls up. Back to Russell, top of the key. Resets, and it's tipped out of bounds, stays with the Lions. It was McRutt getting a hand on it.
Yeah, they're really trying to deny any opportunity for Peoria High to get the ball to LaShawn Stowers. It just hasn't really been much going for him when he doesn't get the ball. When he does get the ball, he's able to sometimes create, not much though.
Stowers backs down, he's double teamed in the low post. Cross court to Edwards, three-pointer. No good in the corner, that's the look they wanted. Rebounded there by Gonzalez. Gonzalez down the lane, pump fakes up for two, it's good.
Yeah, Gonzalez has done this all night where he's just a pest. He's not small, but he's small enough to, slip by defenders, and he's able to finish.
And a kicked ball, nearly a fast break steal for Jack Wegas, but he got his foot on it first. 5:13 to go in the third quarter.
Just hasn't really been much of a difference with Peoria High in between, or with this quarter and the first half. There was a difference in the third quarter of Friday night's game. Peoria High did come to life offensively, just much of the same today.
Stowers is double teamed all game long. Three-pointer, Russell is good! Lions starting to find those shots, making them pay for a double team of LaShawn Stowers.
Great ball movement too. That was something we didn't see all game long until that possession.
And a charge. It was a push off on the drive from Marcos Gonzalez. And that is his third foul.
Something to look out for with this Crusaders team.
Or rather, they're going to get Caden Workman on an illegal screen. That is his third foul. Nobody else in more significant foul trouble than that. 4:41 to go in the third. Russell has it, thought about a three. He's on the near side, dribbles around to the free throw line. Williams pump fakes, drives in, and he traveled. His foot slipped, just couldn't keep it still, and turned back over to Brother Rice.
Yeah, it happens more than you think with those kind of travels. It's one of those things, or when you're a coach, you just tell your players, jump stop, and control yourself, control your feet, because sometimes that does happen, especially with really athletic players like Peoria has across the whole court.
Wegas drives up, gives it to Workman. Kicks it over. Gonzalez now in the corner. He'll drive, goes inside, blocked by LaShawn Stowers, rebounded but put back up and in by John Mickrut, and a foul on Mickrut. He tried to steal it on the inbounds but got too much of the hand.
But that's pretty much how this game has gone. Peoria High makes a big block on their defensive end, and then Brother Rice gets the rebound and they score. It's just been that kind of game for Brother Rice.
3:58 in the third quarter. Nigel Mora fall away two is good. He makes some really tough shots for a freshman.
Yeah, that was really tough. They're giving him the right side, and he was able to make them pay.
Here comes Marcos Gonzalez. Back up to Wegas. Wegas drives down the lane, up and two. Just another tough shot for Jack Wegas.
That's his first point of the third quarter, but this is another really tough shot, like you said, Gavin.
Lions just haven't got enough stops in a row. Phoenix Foy is fouled on the way up by KJ Morris. He spun out, had a look at the rim, but was fouled.
It's been better offensively for Peoria High. They're a little bit better than the first quarter and the second quarter, and then they got quite a bit better on the third quarter. Just on the defensive end, they've had a hard time stopping Brother Rice. So even though they're scoring, they're allowing their opponents to score. It's still not a great recipe to win.
It'll be Phoenix Foy to shoot two at the line. Makes the first one. He'll shoot one more. And it is up and in. Off the back iron, drops down. 3:13 to go in the third quarter. Lions pick up more full court pressure.
Yeah, you're going to have to do this at some point. Wise decision to do it earlier in the game. I'd probably would try to do it in the fourth, but subtile. Not really much of a man-to-man press as much as it's just picking up full court.
Three-pointer on the way is good. They just don't miss. Max Justick hits another one.
Stowers quickly the other way.
And now it's Nigel Moore. Makes a move. Catches a body. Lost it. Throws up a two. He's short. Nearly got it back himself. Now is on the floor. And a jump ball as it will go back to Brother Rice, I believe. And a timeout taken.
I think it's by Brother Rice.
I think it was by Brother Rice. They are firmly in front right now, just not letting the Lions close the gap. Michael, what do you do to change that?
Well, I don't want to make this sound as simple as it is, but in simple terms, Peoria High just needs to get stops on the defensive end. And how do you do that? You have to stay focused. It's really just the small things. If Peoria High does the small things, like staying focused, diving on loose balls like we just saw there more often when they happen, then there's a chance that, because obviously Peoria High is getting buckets on the offensive end. They've been playing a lot better in the second half with their offense. Just got to be able to clock in on defense. Get steals, get deflections, play more aggressive. They're already playing really aggressive, but jump passing lanes, be risky. This could be the end of their season tonight, so you got to play like it could be.
Leave it all on the court. Stowers then bound off the timeout from Brother Rice. They got it back on a jump ball. Has to throw a Hail Mary. Spencer Russell, the football man's there to pick up the completion. Russell over to Moore. Moore gives it back to Russell. Top of the key. Makes a move. Goes down. 2-pointers good. Lions finding the score column. Just can't stop them on the other end yet. Here's Wegas, goes the other way. Another shot with the left hand. Jack Wegas really lighting up score column.
He's got 20 now. Jack Wegas has been balling out in Pontiac.
Edwards steps through his short, tipped back up, no good. And it's rebounded by Brother Rice. Gonzalez goes down the lane to Morris, and a foul on LaShawn Stowers, his third, and it'll be 2 shots for KJ Morris.
It's something that kind of monitor as we get closer and closer to the end of the third quarter. We're a minute 44 left, and Stowers does have 3. So look for Brother Rice to keep attacking him on the offensive end.
That'll be 2 shots in line for Morris. First one is good.
Brother Rice, even though Peoria High has gone on some scoring runs on the offensive end, has an opportunity with this made free throw to put it back up to 20. And he does just that.
20-point advantage for Brother Rice. It's too much so far for the Lions. Nailed both free throws. 1:39 to go in the third quarter. Stowers, 3-pointer, no good. Couldn't hit it. Tried to face up a 3. Here comes Gonzalez, drives all the way, stripped away by Sturdivant. Here comes Sturdivant. Goes up, gives it off to Stowers. And a charge, and that's Stowers' 4th. I don't like that call, Michael.
Oh, that's a tough break for Stowers. Tough break for Brother Rice. Stowers isn't too happy. He's continuously patting on the ball, and he'll have to take a seat. Yeah, most likely, yep, he's being subbed out. It's not a great sign if you're Peoria High.
I think that one, not to be too frank, but a good acting job from Max Justick drawing the charge, and that's Stowers' 4th.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Lions play without their star player.
And a charge on the other end goes on Wegas, so tit for tat, if you will. 1:05 to go in the third. It's been a barrage of fouls in the last minute or so.
Be interesting to see how Peoria's offense operates without their college commit, a guy that's pretty much scored the bulk of their points for a majority of their games all year. See how they play without him.
Could be the end of his high school career tonight. LaShawn Stowers has been fantastic all year long. Sturdivant to Foy. Foy hop steps. Rather, that's Duffin. Duffin couldn't get it to go. Here comes Wegas the other way. He goes up, straight up, and found the offensive rebound. That's Grabowski checking into the game. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Grabowski follows it up with 2. Edwards on the logo, gives it off to Sturdivant. 20 seconds to go in the third. 14 seconds. Sturdivant dribbles around. Sturdivant passes it off. Edwards, 3-pointer at the horn. He got it. 1 second left, throws it up. Gonzalez hit it off the back iron. And Lions get the lead under 20 on a late 3 from Orlando Edwards. But it's all Brother Rice, 49-30. The lead has inflated 5 more points since the halftime break. And 8 minutes left to play. Does Peoria High have anything left in the tank?
It's going to be tough. LaShawn Stowers is in deep foul trouble. One more foul, and he's out of the ballgame. He has 4 fouls, and we're just now starting the fourth quarter. So we got another 8 minutes to play with your star player with 4 fouls, and you, although have had better opportunities on the offensive end in the second half so far in the third quarter than you had in the first quarter, so it's a 19-point deficit against a really good Brother Rice team. And they know, just like how Peoria knows, this is a game away from the state finals. They're not going to let up, you want to think. So it's going to be tough for the Lions.
They'll have to find some real magic in this quarter break in order to pull this one out. I bet the Lions would take overtime at this point, play 4 more minutes. Firmly in hand, though, is Brother Rice. Been Jack Wegas all night getting it done.
He's up to 20. He's the only Brother Rice player in the 20s with the 20. And also you got Marcos Gonzalez with 12. So it's the only 2 Brother Rice players in double figures. Only the 2 players in the game in double figures.
Brother Rice will start with the basketball, and it's Max Justick to inbound the ball. And no LaShawn Stowers, again with 4 fouls. And the final quarter begins now. Into Workman. Fake the handoff. Has it himself. Nowhere to go with it. Still holding it. Gives it off to Gonzalez. Brother Rice not in a hurry. Just starting the fourth quarter. And it's tipped out of bounds. Staying with Brother Rice.
You'd think with Peoria High season on the line and you're in the final quarter of playing, you're down by so much that you'd think they'd be more risky and more aggressive on defense. Let's see how that works out for them.
And an official stoppage. Looks like we might have a spill or something on the Brother Rice bench. They're trying to clean up. They clean it up. The mop kid gets a nice hand from the crowd. 7:41 to go in regulation.
The Brother Rice student section, there's either guys with blue or guys with orange shirts on, guys with orange shirts on to cover the top half of their chest, or there's guys completely shirtless.
I'd say about a good 25% of the Brother Rice student section is shirtless at this point. Inbounded to Workman. In no hurry, Workman drives to the left. Lots of back cutting going on and a travel. So here's Peoria High's opportunity. Got to make something happen and rather quickly. 7:33 to go in regulation.
Yeah, you cannot afford to have offensive possessions go for nothing. You got to at least put a shot up, if anything.
Orlando Edwards has it. He's guarded by Wegas. Drops it back to Sturdivant on the wing. Sturdivant cut off at every angle. Orlando Edwards shoots a 3. I believe it might have been tipped. Batted back out, though, by Phoenix Foy. Spencer Russell, another 3. No good. Tipped around. Foy got it back once again. Saved by Sturdivant, but he stepped out of bounds trying to save the basketball. Inbounded to KJ Morris. Lions had a couple of looks at it. A couple offensive rebounds. Phoenix Foy getting in there for the boards, but it's back to Brother Rice. Gonzalez has it. Drives down the lane. Up and under. No good. Haven't seen a lot of missed shots tonight, and it'll go back to Peoria High. 6:52 in the game.
Stowers is back in the game.
I think you just can't afford to have him out for any longer.
No, in the regular season game, when you're not ending your season regardless, you could probably send him out for a little bit longer, but with the season on the line, you just can't afford to send him out.
Russell goes up, and he's fouled on his way to 2 free throws. 6:44 to go.
I'm just interested to see how Stowers plays, knowing that, a loss here tonight does end his season. And he can turn another gear if he really needs to, and obviously in such a big moment, you're going to expect him to play his heart out.
And the first free throw is no good from Spencer Russell. Just rimmed out. Frustration on his face. He'll try to get the second one. Russell misses them both, but rebounded by Phoenix Foy. So it kind of works out in a way. Russell goes down the lane, kicks it out. Edwards thought about a three, no look there. Stowers throws it down. Foy couldn't handle the pass from Stowers, and it's turned over. So empty trip for the Lions. Moves it around. Workman on the near side wing, closest to the benches. Workman drives with his right hand. Down the lane, kicks it back out to Morris, and Morris will dribble around with it. 6 minutes to go in regulation. Now it's Workman again. He drives and he's fouled by Phoenix Foy. Tried to make a move with the basketball. Foy was in his grill. No scoring yet. Something we are not accustomed to have seen much of in this ball game.
Yeah, it's not really been, especially for Peoria High, it's still just been tough.
Gonzalez dribbles it in to Workman at the top of the key. Workman makes a move, goes to his right, wants to hand it off, nowhere to go with it. Spins around, down to, it's tipped out of bounds. It was Wegas with the ball. Had it tipped out by Spencer Russell. 5:41 to go in regulation. Gonzalez, far side wing, gets it down to Workman. Drives down. Workman tried to make a hook shot. Thought of it better. Kicks it back out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez down the lane. Turnaround jumper is good. Just cannot miss. And a 30-second timeout by Brother Rice, as it's a 21-point lead for the Crusaders.
You know, Gonzalez, he's got a pretty jump shot, and he can absolutely create on his own. He's had a lot of ISO basketball where he takes his defender to the basket and either finishes at the rim, or he has what we just saw there, like a tough turnaround fall-away jump shot. Just got a really smooth stroke. Averaging 14 a game for this Brother Rice team. Or excuse me, 18 a game.
They're definitely getting the scoring done tonight. Lions have started to tighten up defensively, just haven't been able to find the bottom of the net. They had some chances, just didn't go down. Gotta think, though, there's a lot of young players on this Lions team. Definitely great experience. It's going to help them going forward. Just right now in this moment, they may not have that poise yet to get the job done.
We have seen some good freshman performances all season long from Peoria High, and we did see some glimpses of someone like Jacob Duffin, a freshman, number 22 for the Lions. He's had an impact, especially in the first half of this game. But yeah, you're right. Overall, Gavin, it just hasn't been really great in terms of, you know, pressure and poise for the freshman class here. But they're only going to get better, you think.
Edwards throws it up. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lions. Edwards missed a shot, but it's tipped out by a Brother Rice player. 5:09 to go in the fourth. Into Stowers. Stowers wants the basketball. Now he's double-teamed, emphatically double-teamed. Spencer Russell goes down the lane, drops it down to Duffin. He gets it in for two. Jacob Duffin right on cue makes something happen. Peoria High will pick up a full-court press. Now they'll sag off. Under 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Gonzalez, back to Workman, near the logo. Hands it off to Justick. Throws it back to Gonzalez. Crusaders in no hurry. Now Gonzalez drives left side, throws it around. He airballed that one, and it is out of bounds. It'll stay with Brother Rice, who was hit out by LaShawn Stowers.
Yeah, we're just a little bit over 4 minutes to go in regulation of this game, and it's really been nothing that's really been different. You would think maybe a halftime adjustment or two from Coach Ruffin, but even if he were to even make those adjustments in halftime, Brother Rice has just been on one today.
Wegas and a foul on Spencer Russell. That is the second team foul in the quarter. So talk about free throw time. Really, Brother Rice has been perfect from the free throw line here in this ball game. So it might be difficult sledding for the Lions if they decide to go that route. Workman spins up and in with the left hand.
Yeah, Workman, he's been a little bit quiet. You would think maybe a 6'5" guy and a big frame like him, he can get going, but a little quiet, but not that Brother Rice has really needed it.
And Duffin is fouled. He found his way inside and got fouled. 3:55 to go. Really, if you want a last-ditch effort for Peoria High, it probably is just going to have to come from a lot of free throws. You can score with the clock stopped.
Brother Rice has not missed from the line. They are, let's see, 2, 2, 2, 8, 10. They are 13 of 13 from the line. And while Peoria High has not been bad from the line themselves, they've not been perfect, which kind of adds also to their deficit. But there's been a lot of other things that have not gone Peoria High's way tonight.
Jacob Duffin made the first free throw. He'll shoot number 2 with 3:55 to go in regulation. And he missed the second one, but he got his own rebound. Stowers shoots a 3, just off the mark, rebounded by Duffin on the floor. But how about Jacob Duffin? 2 offensive rebounds after the missed free throw. And Peoria High has a chance to make this a 3 or 4 point play.
I wish I kept track of rebounds because I feel like if I did, Duffin would by far have the team leading rebounds for the Lions, and he's just a freshman, and the rebounds he's had are not easy.
Phoenix Foy off the inbounds, went up over Workman, so it does end up being a 3-point play. 18-point ball game. 3:35. Clock is on Brother Rice's side, though. Here's Gonzalez. They're not content as he's fouled. 3:29 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, you had a feeling.
Oh, wow, a travel rather.
Oh. Yeah, they're going to call down on Brother Rice. I was going to say, you had a feeling because, this is the game away from the state finals, and you cannot give a team like Peoria High any glimpse of hope to come back in this game. They're not going to be a contender at all. But a turnover, maybe Peoria High gets something last second.
So it was a travel. After all, Stowers thought about a 3, nowhere to go with it. 3:18 to go in the regulation. Moore has to get rid of it. Gives it up to Duffin. Duffin goes in himself off the glass, no good. And a foul on Phoenix Foy on the loose ball. 3:06 to go now. Gonzalez is still pleading his case on the travel call on the other end. Play is resumed. Into Workman. Now the full court pressure is consistent. Nigel Moore on Max Justick. Under 3 minutes to go. And a foul on Phoenix Foy. He was trying to reach in for the foul.
It's his 4th.
Again, maybe a little showmanship from Workman as he gives a bump to Phoenix Foy. Foy does not react.
Yeah, nice job by Foy to not make anything more of it.
Cooler heads prevail. They get it into Wegas. Justick over to Morris. Here's Gonzalez all the way, doesn't get it to go. Ball in no man's land. Grabbed by Gonzalez, though. A Lion hit the floor. That was Phoenix Foy. 2:30 to go now in the 4th. Gonzalez dribbles around with it both ways. Gives it up now. Back to Workman as he'll reset on the logo. Receives a nice hand from the Brother Rice crowd. Loses it. And a foul on Phoenix Foy, and I believe that'll be the end of his game.
Yeah, he's trying to plead his case, saying that maybe he didn't foul him, maybe it wasn't much. He's beside himself, and I believe that is the end of his night. Yeah, they're going to sub him out now, I believe.
They called it on number 2. I'm not sure how. It would clearly have been on Phoenix Foy. It was only Foy and Workman guarding one another.
It's kind of hard for us to see, but I'm just going to go off the reaction of Brother Rice's student section that it doesn't go in the Crusaders' favor. Well, they're gonna shoot the free throws anyway.
They call it on Stephen Williams, who was nowhere near the play. Workman makes the first anyway, but Foy will check out regardless. Not quite sure if they got that one right, Michael, on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where they saw Stephen Williams, but I think it does help Peoria High, I guess, with the last 2 minutes to have Foy still available. Not that it truly matters, but for a last second run.
Brother Rice, their first missed free throw of the night, goes out of bounds, and a timeout by Brother Rice.
Yeah, the student section, these Brother Rice fans, quite a bit of them actually made it out to Pontiac. I'd say off of just, knowing the geography of Illinois, it probably is around at least over an hour away. I'd say more of an hour and 30-minute drive for them. So good contingent of Crusader faithful here, along with a big student section that Gavin, you'd said 25% of her shirtless at one point. I'd say more of like
50%.
50-50. So more shirts off, and they're going to celebrate what's going to be a big win against a good Peoria High Lions team. And they earned their trip to the state finals. We'll see them down in Champaign.
It was warm out today, unseasonably warm in March. Maybe not quite warm enough to take your shirt off, but tell that to a bunch of students for Brother Rice. As it does appear that Brother Rice, barring an absolute miracle, will hold on for the win with 2:16 to go in the fourth. A few Lions fans head for the exits, a long drive back to Peoria. Into Nigel Moore it goes. I believe they corrected the foul call as Phoenix Foy, I believe, fouled out of the game. No LaShawn Stowers in the game. Orlando Edwards had the ball tipped on a step back. Just some desperation shots, and it goes into the hands of Workman. Over to Gonzalez, back to Morris. Under 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Gonzalez has it. Lots of dribbling around. Now he'll go in with the right hand, and I believe it's just going to be a lot of dribbling around.
Yeah, with just over 90 seconds to go, they're not really content to get anything scoring-wise unless something was obliviously wide open. Like, what could this be?
They kicked it back out to Workman, and Justic on the drive. Kicked it back out. Workman did not shoot it. He was wide open. And a foul on Orlando Edwards, and it'll be 2 shots now for Marcos Gonzalez.
Yeah, just Edwards is first, but nothing really too pouring out of that. Not really worried about foul counts now. If you're Peoria High, you're just looking to, if you have any opportunity to even just make this more of a game, you're just hoping that Brother Rice misses free throws, which they've only done once all game, and now it's just a little bit earlier ago in the fourth quarter. So they've been brilliant.
And it'll be Gonzalez to shoot. The first free throw is up and in. Gonzalez shoots a second, is good. Pads his stats a little bit. Him and Jack Weegus have been everything they've been cracked up to be. Nigel Moore steps back, three-pointer is good. The freshman gets a little late scoring in. As the Brother Rice student section sarcastically cheers for Nigel Moore's three.
Yeah, I was wondering why they were cheering, but yeah, I think it was more of a sarcastic cheer.
Under a minute to go as Brother Rice fans come to their feet. Wonder if they'll even shoot in the final minute.
It looked like they were really playing, so they might throw a shot up, but it might just be because of Peoria High's defense. So they're double teaming the corners.
Fouled by Nigel Moore, and it'll be Weegus back to the line for 2 more. As Brother Rice fans pump up the crowd as they'll make their first ever trip to Champaign, or really any state finals for that matter of fact. First ever appearance in the state Final Four for Brother Rice is coming up. Weegas' first free throw is good.
He's had a great game. That's only his first points of the fourth quarter. Like, again, with all these other Brother Rice players, it's not like it's really been needed, but it's still something to see. He might go 2 for 2, just like a lot of his Brother Rice teammates have done, and he does just that.
He goes perfect at the line once again. What a day for Weegas. He gets both of them. Peoria High. Maybe a moral victory here for Orlando Edwards as he shoots a three. It's good. Couple of late threes for Orlando Edwards and Nigel Moore. They'll still full court trap and they'll keep fouling as they'll send Marcos Gonzalez back to the line for 2 more.
Yeah, Brother Rice, they know now that there's only 22.7 seconds left to go in period regulation. They're up by 17 now. Could be 19 or 18 after these free throws. They just know the game's in hand. They know they're going to Champaign.
Once again, good at the free throw line. Just practice at this point for Marcos Gonzalez as he can get them to 60 points with 1 more from the charity stripe. He does, and he'll check out of the ball game, salutes the crowd. A well-played ball game by Marcos Gonzalez and his running mate Jack Weegas, who also took a seat. And 22 seconds for the Lions to maybe make one last shot of it. Nigel Moore goes down the lane, throws it up, lost it, and it's rebounded by the Crusaders, and that will do it. 10 seconds left on the clock. The time will tick away, and the Lions wave the white flag. Final score 60-41 as the Brother Rice Crusaders move on to the state Final Four.
Just what a game from the Crusaders. Talk about, their first ever state appearance. It's kind of surprising to even hear that because they've been such a powerhouse in so many different sports, but nonetheless, their basketball program, their boys basketball program, hasn't gone into that, hasn't had that same success over the years. Now they get the opportunity to add a state trophy to their trophy case at the state finals later this week at the State Farm Center.
They'll hoist some sort of trophy. It's a top 4 finish regardless for Brother Rice as they'll celebrate with a mob of their fans on the court.
Wow.
Probably 100 of those students. That's a wave of men I wouldn't want to see coming at me.
Yeah, no, they're jumping all over around. I mean, that's a spectacle to be seen.
Pretty much completely covering the inside of the three-point line on the far side from us, right in front of where the Brother Rice bench was, as they'll now receive their medals, their super sectional championship trophy. But what a season for Peoria High. Fantastic 29 wins, 7 losses is how it finishes. Brother Rice gets their 30th win of the season. What a career for LaShawn Stowers, for Anthony Sturdivant, for Spencer Russell, and Kamar Montford, the 4 seniors departing for the Lions. They just couldn't quite get it in the super sectional.
Yeah, it's just a tough game from both sides of the ball, really, for Peoria High. There was really no real consistency on both sides of the ball. The first half was a really big struggle on the offensive end. The third quarter was really when Peoria High started hitting their shots, but when they started hitting their shots, they weren't really defending too well, so they weren't playing both sides of the ball well at the same time. In the fourth quarter, they were playing better defense, but they just weren't hitting their shots until the final moments, and by then it was just too late for them.
Lots of promise, though, for Peoria High. This will be a season long remembered by the Lions. Lots of accomplishments. Again, doing a lot of things they haven't done since their last trip to state in 2012. But I think as we've talked throughout our Clutch Sports Media team, all of our insiders and different broadcasters and things, I think we know in the next 2 to 3 seasons, Peoria High is going to be a force to be reckoned with. They've got a lot coming back next season. Stephen Williams will be back. Jalen Rayford, we did not see him play tonight, but he had moments throughout the season. Cameron Gunn, Phoenix Foy, that's a big one coming back. And, of course, a number of tremendous freshmen, Jacob Duffin, Orlando Edwards, Nigel Moore, among others. You just got to like what's coming for the future for Peoria High. It stings now, but the long term is definitely very bright.
Yeah, they get all their freshmen back, obviously. They have 3 more years of high school basketball past this year, so they're going to be around wearing the Peoria High maroon and black for at least the next 3 years. And then obviously you got Phoenix Foy back. But along with them coming back, you also lose the biggest piece of your team. You lose in college commit, Miami of Ohio commit, LaShawn Stowers. He's obviously departing. What a career he's had for Peoria High. He's a Mr. Basketball candidate in Illinois. That's how good he's been this season. It's tough losing him, and obviously you lose some other guys like TJ Sturdivant, Anthony Sturdivant. He'll be leaving too. He's been clutch for the Lions all season long. You lose him. Spencer Russell. You lose him both in multiple sports, football and basketball. And, yeah, I think those are just the 3, yes. Just 3 seniors, 3 really important seniors, but it's not really the bulk of your team. Some teams do lose a lot of their team. They are seniors, but Peoria High, they just lose 3, albeit 3 really important seniors.
That'll largely be the case for Brother Rice, as they're mostly made up of seniors, and an excellent season for them. It will continue for at least 2 more games. Whether that ends up in a chance for first place or third place, depending on how the semifinals go. As pictures being taken all over the court, a lot of Peoria fans have exited the gym as they make their trip back from Pontiac. Once again, we'd like to let you know it's only possible to have this broadcast tonight because of Jody Brown State Farm in Peoria. Jody's been a great partner many years now, Clutch Sports Media. Of course, this game right here tonight. Great ball game by both sides. Brother Rice comes out on top, 60-41. Michael, now you had some stats, some final tallies for both sides.
Yeah, there's the story of the game. We've already talked about Peoria High's inconsistency as on offense. There's not a single double-digit scorer for the Lions, at least from what I can tally. There's the highest scorer for the Lions is Orlando Edwards Jr. His 2 3-pointers in the second half put him at 8 points. He had 2 in the second quarter, 2 in the second quarter, first half. LaShawn Stowers ends his high school career on a bittersweet note with 7 points. Obviously, though, with 7 points, it doesn't show how important he's been for the Lions all season long. Matching him is Nigel Moore. He's a freshman coming back for the Lions. He had 7. Spencer Russell had 5. TJ Sturdivant had 3. And I believe Phoenix Foy had 4, and Jacob Duffin had 4. So that's the Peoria High side of things. And then for Brother Rice, we had talked about in the open, it's really a duo of sorts for the Crusaders. Jack Wegas and Marcos Gonzalez. Wegas had the better of Gonzalez. I'm sure they've gone alternating back and forth with point totals. Wegas had 22, and Gonzalez had 20. That led all Brother Rice. Then he had some other contributors, like Max Justick with 6, Caden Workman with 5, and I believe John McBride had 2, and then Gabrowski had 2. Yes.
Lots of players all over the stat book. Michael Savoy doing a great job keeping stats all game long. Definitely not something everybody can do, keeping track of everything going on.
Yeah, it's tough, especially where we were situated with Peoria High student section right in the middle of things. It was hard to see the far side of the court where we were sitting, but we made it work.
We conquer regardless and made the trip up here. Smooth sailing. I'd like to thank Pontiac High School for their hospitality. Always a great time to come up to Pontiac.
This is a fantastic gym.
Very good gym.
You talking about, just architecturally and interior-wise, you got the walls painted, match the imagery of the school. You got the mats on the walls, on the baseline that say Pontiac, and it looks fantastic. The bleachers are themed in a way to match their school. They got the Pontiac Holiday Tournament bracket on their far side. That's probably the best high school basketball tournament around Christmas time in the state. So this is a fantastic place and great hospitality. Like you said, Gavin, just everything about the school is great.
Fantastic school. I'd like to thank everybody involved with the game today. And that's where we'll leave it off at. 60-41. Brother Rice headed to the semifinal. Real quick before we go, I was efforting to see if we could find a Peoria Christian score. Haven't heard since halftime. But Manual, Peoria Manual will represent the 309 in the state Final Four. The Rams look to rekindle some magic from back in the 90s when they went on a legendary run, and they won't be alone. Peoria Christian, a massive second half as they will go to the state tournament 66-49 as they beat Greenfield Northwestern in a super sectional. So 2 309 teams, 1 and 2A, well represented. Peoria High season ends in 3A here tonight. We'll be back for coverage later this week from Champaign. We'll let you know what that looks like. Follow all of our social media pages on X, on Instagram, and Facebook. Keep track of our website, clutchsportsil.com. Clutch Sports Media Overtime for all the upcoming coverage from high school baseball, softball, track seasons coming up here in a couple weeks. But we'll finish you off with March Madness this weekend at the State Farm Center in Champaign-Urbana. Once again, final score 60-41. Brother Rice a winner over the Lions. For my broadcast partner, Michael Savoy, this is Gavin Russell saying so long from Pontiac as Peoria High season comes to an end. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch you next time on ClutchSportsIL.com.